It doesn't matter if it's party time or nighttime. It's always the right time to make guacamole and margaritas yourself. So let's start off with our margaritas, and we're making our own sour mix. And we're using a mix of lemons and limes. I'm going to start off with the limes first. Before I juice these limes, I'm going to zest them. The zest has a lot of flavor that's very different from the acidic juice. It's going to add some depth to our sour mix. I'm using a rasp style grater because I only want to get the outer edge of the zest. And when you choose limes, you want to choose those that are pretty dark in color over the lighter ones. The dark ones sometimes tend to have a thinner skin, but that means they have more juice. And I'm looking for 4 teaspoons of zest. That looks pretty good. All right, now before I juice these limes, I'm going to do the same thing and zest a couple of lemons. And we're using a mix of lemons and limes because I like the way that the lemons kind of brighten up the flavor a little bit more. It's really not going to come to the forefront. And they're obviously a lot bigger, so I probably won't need to zest as many. I'm looking for an equal amount, 4 teaspoons of lemon zest. Perfect. So now we can juice our citrus on an electric citrus juicer. I used to juice margaritas by hand, but I started making them so often, and fresh lemonade and fresh orange juice, that I found it was really easier for me to use an electric citrus juicer like this one. So I'm looking for a 1/2 cup of lime juice. All right, so now a 1/2 cup of lemon juice. This looks great, a 1/2 cup of each lime and lemon juice. So now we need to turn this into a sour mix, and sour mix does have a little bit of sweetener in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and use a 1/4 cup of superfine sugar. Superfine sugar is great because it just takes less time for it to dissolve, along with our zest. Now, one final ingredient for the sour mix, and that is a pinch of table salt. Some people like salt on the rim of their margaritas, other people don't, but salt really does enhance flavor. Finally, just stir all this together until the sugar dissolves. Again, that doesn't take long if you're using superfine sugar. That's it for our homemade sour mix. Now I'm going to put a piece of plastic on it. You want to let this stay in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours to give that zest some time to really release its flavor. I like to leave it in there for at least 24 hours. You can leave it in there for up to 48 hours, I have found over the years. So I'm going to go put this in the fridge. Almost time for margaritas. All right, so we have our steeping juice here with that beautiful zest in it. So now I'm done with the zest, and I am going to strain this mixture into a quart container. That way it makes it really easy for me to measure everything. So I'm just pressing on the solids because I want to get every bit of juice out of there. Now my preference for a proper margarita is equal parts of the sour mix, tequila, and triple sec. So let's go through the other 2 ingredients. The first up, triple sec. Now triple sec just means triple dry. I recommend going for a triple sec like a curacao. A curacao is a type of triple sec, and it has a nice developed orange flavor. It's not too sweet. Now you can also use Grand Marnier if you'd like, but that's going to give your drink a little bit of a brandy flavor. I'm going to add a cup of curacao or triple sec, and then tequila. Now, I prefer using either a reposado, which just means rested tequila, or a blanco, but not añejo. Añejo means aged, and really it would be a shame to use a great aged tequila for margaritas. Save that for sipping. I'm going with blanco. I'm going to add a cup of tequila, equal parts. All right, so now this goes into the fridge to chill while we start our guacamole. Full disclosure. This isn't my recipe. This is my friend Lon's recipe. She developed a beautiful, chunky guacamole that hits all the right notes. So I've got an onion here. I don't need a lot. We don't want this to be too powerful. We need about 2 tablespoons. So let me just cut this in half, and I'm going to finely mince just about everything here. So we want really small pieces so it'll break down into a paste even easier. The authentic places that make guacamole will use something called a molcajete, which is kind of like a big bowl made out of lava rock, and it's used to grind down the ingredients to make a paste, and that really brings out their flavor. But what if you don't have a molcajete? Well, you can use your chopping board and a good knife to create a paste. Next, a serrano chili. This is just the right amount of heat. We love it because of the flavor that it adds too. Stem the chili, cut it in half. Remove the ribs and the seeds from the chilies, and I like to use a small measuring spoon to do this. Now, you can reserve the seeds if you like your guacamole a little bit spicier. The ribs and the seeds is where all that spice lives. Now, just like the onion, we want to mince this very fine. Draw these onions back to the center of the board with my pile of serrano chili. I want to add a little bit of lime flavor directly to this aromatic mixture. We're using both the juice and the zest of the lime. So first of all, I'm going to use a rasp style grater and just grate about a 1/4 teaspoon of zest. And now to that, I'm going to add a teaspoon of kosher salt. Now the salt is really important because it's going to help us grind all of this into a really fine paste. Just going to take my knife, I'm going to keep on chopping, just keep on chopping until everything is really fine and minced very well. And this is part of the reason that you're not using a lot of onion or even a lot of that lime zest, because every time I cut through this mixture, it's releasing more and more aromatics and more flavors. If we were to add too much more onion, it might be overpowering. All right, so that is looking good. Chop it anymore, it might disappear. We can go ahead and put our onion chili mixture into our mixing bowl. Add lime juice, and I'm looking at this point to add 1.5 tablespoons. That looks right. Next up, little tomato. We've got a plum tomato here. Just lop off the top. I'll cut it in half. Just going to remove that core inside and get any of the seeds. We want to cut this up into really fine dice, so about 1/8 inch pieces. Our tomato's done. I'm just going to set it aside while we work on the star of the show, which is avocado. We're using 3 avocados here. They're just starting to get a little squishy. That's a technical term. So that's how we know that they're just ripe enough to use. If they were rock hard, of course, you would want to let them ripen up before you use them in a guacamole. And if your fingers go through as soon as you're pressing, you might want to pick up a new one or two. All right, so now take your knife all the way around, do a little shimmy. Just get rid of the pits and knock it on the side of a trash can. So I'm going to cut these into 1/2 inch pieces. So spacing a few cuts here this way, a few cuts across, trying to keep my fingers away from my knife. And then I'm going to take a spoon and run it around the outside of my avocado. So the 1/2 inch pieces are pretty big, and that's because we are actually going to mash it into a little bit of a smaller pulp. But it's always better to start off with bigger pieces. So it doesn't look like much, but let's turn it into guacamole. And we're using a sturdy whisk to do the job. So it's going to stir and mash this mixture. We're looking for about 1/4 inch pieces. And then as I do this, I'm picking up that onion mixture that was on the bottom. But we still want to leave some chunks in there. So now that we have a relatively smooth mixture with some bigger chunks still left in there, it's time for us to add in our tomato. And that's why I set it aside. I didn't want to put it in too early because it would get mashed as well. Well, that's looking great. All right, I'm going to be a little careful now. So next up, cilantro. I need 2 tablespoons of minced fresh cilantro, so I'll just shave off some of the leaves here. And the tender stems are fine to eat as well. Of course, cilantro is always best added close to the time that you're planning on serving your guacamole. All right, that looks like a nice 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add that. So I'm just going to stir in that cilantro nice and gentle here. Now it's time to give it a taste. Remember, I added salt with the paste, the onion and chili paste earlier, but we shall see if it needs more. I'm going to add a little bit more. And because I like it a little brighter, bit more lime juice right in there too. You can add up to another 1.5 teaspoons. Well, that just looks almost good enough to eat, so I'm going to clean up and we're going to finish. This is the payoff. I mean, look how beautiful this is. The chips, of course, the guacamole. I'm going to set it aside for a second because I do need to finish my margaritas. And this is one of the great things about having the margarita mix already mixed because it's ready to go when you have company. So I've got a cocktail shaker here. I've filled it with some ice, and I'm going to pour in. You don't want to overfill. So I'm just going to add about 1/2 cup crushed ice to my glass here. It's going to help to dilute the margarita just a little bit so it takes some of the bite off. And now let's give those margaritas a good shake. Shaking is what dilutes the margarita and makes it really well balanced. Also aerates it a little bit. and it makes you look cool. So this is a cobbler shaker, so it has a strainer right on top, built right in. Absolutely no adornment needed. But I do need to taste it for quality control, so let me just check on that. Okay. Nice and balanced. Good citrus flavor, but it's not overplaying the tequila or the curacao. One more sip should do it. Yeah, maybe a little better than that first sip. It's chips and guac time. Guacamole is always better with homemade chips, and if you want to get this recipe, go ahead to our website. And that guacamole, A little bit of the heat from the Serrano is coming through, but it's not a full-on assault. It's a little bit chunky, a little bit smooth. It's bright, it's fresh, it's perfection. To make this beautiful guacamole at home, remember these keys. Grind the aromatics into a paste and use a whisk to mix and mash the avocados. And for bright and balanced margaritas, steep citrus zest with juice and use equal parts tequila sour mix and orange liqueur. So from America's Test Kitchen at home, classic guacamole and what I think are the best fresh margaritas.
Thanks for watching America's Test Kitchen. What'd you think?
Well, leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or you can just say hello.
You can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
I'll see you later.